Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is our take. We are your hosts. I'm Ocean.
I'm Taylor.
And I'm Connor.
Welcome back to another week of breakdowns, trailer reactions, all kinds of great content coming to you guys. Starting with this week is a first for myself on the channel. Today we're going to review and react to, I forget the studio's name.
Illumination,
Jesus. Illumination's newest production that just came out this weekend, Super Mario Bros. Yeah. Da, da, da. Play the theme music. But Super Mario Bros. Came out this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And not only was it highly anticipated, but this was actually the first time that I decided to watch a movie in 4DX. It's been highly recommended by my co-host here over the past couple months, and I decided to just finally do it. The theater is quite a bit distance away from me than I normally go, so it was a commitment to be made. But without spoiling too much, I think I can say it was definitely worth going. So this is not only going to be a review of Super Mario Bros., the movie, and everything that came with that, but also what it was like to experience that movie in 4DX. It was pretty fun. So look forward to that. There will be a lot of other content coming out throughout the rest of the week, so stay tuned for that. I believe Connor will be appearing in a lot of it, so that's always fun.
Yep.
And
Thank you
let's
guys
get
for having
started.
me.
Always, bro.
Thank you for being here.
Let's get started. I'll let you run through the cast list for Super Mario Bros. Because it's a fun one.
Yep. I will try to get through. So, of course, our star, Chris Pratt as the Mario.
Yep.
Then we have Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach. Jack Black as Bowser. And then Charlie Day as Luigi. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. And those are, I think, the main people.
Probably.
Yeah.
Who is the wizard? I
Can't
can't remember. I don't remember the character's name. But Bowser's wizard.
I don't know
the magic
his character
Koopa.
name.
Koopa.
Yeah.
A lot of big names in this film. A lot of big stars. And it's always interesting to see how big name, big star talent transpires onto an animated screen, right? Because a lot of what they get paid to do is visually act as well as their voice, right? So it's always interesting to see how their voice translates into a animated product. And we'll talk about that a little bit here and there. So we'll do this in traditional fashion as always. Spoiler-free content first, real quick. Get into some scores. Get into spoilers. The spoiler-free section is going to be pretty short. I want to try and save a lot of stuff for the spoilers because I got a lot to talk about, a lot of stuff. So, spoiler-free content, real down and dirty. I enjoyed the movie. It was a fun ride, quite literally, for us that went to it in 40X. And I enjoyed it, and that's pretty much the extent that I have for spoiler-free content. I enjoyed it. It was a solid movie. What about you, Taylor?
So, I will shit on Illumination all day, every day. But I did have fun with this movie.
Yeah.
And I do think it's because, obviously it's got Nintendo IPs,
Right.
which plays a huge factor in it. But I love a lot of the actors that were in this. I liked the IPs, and I just had a good time.
Yeah. What about you, Connor? Which,
Yeah.
by the way, Connor, you didn't watch it in 40X, correct?
No, I watched it in a regular theater on Thursday.
Peasant.
And-
I'm just kidding.
yeah, I'm not. I don't have enough to go to a 40X theater. It's an hour and a half drive for me over there. But
how did you enjoy the movie? Or
it was good. I mean, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I don't think it's the most amazing animated movie I've ever seen, but it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good animated movie. I didn't really Like I wasn't disappointed when I walked out. There was a couple things that I didn't think fit well with it, and I think they could have cast someone else specifically for a specific character.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Because I really didn't think it added anything or worked very well with who the character was.
That'd be juicy to get into. All right.
But other than that and some of the musical choices, I think it was really good and I had a lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah. That seems to be the kind of the general consensus of outside of our podcast as well, is that it's not the most amazing thing ever, but it was solid and it was fun. It's a fun movie.
From what I've seen on the critic side of like on Rotten Tomatoes, it's at like a 48.
Yeah, it's not doing very well.
I don't really
on
understand.
Side. I will say that I don't think it's that low. For me, as far as scores go, to give a little bit more of a qualifying or whatever, to be a little more specific, I'm sitting at a 7.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. It was fun. There are issues that I have, and I'll talk about it, but it was fun.
Yeah.
What about you, Connor?
I would say I'm at a 7 as well. It was a decent movie. It was good. It was enjoyable. But yeah, I would agree. I would say it's a 7. It's definitely not a 48.
Yeah,
whatever the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah. What about you, Ted?
I actually agree with you guys. I would give this a 7, which is high for me.
Yeah, I would say high. 7 is actually high. Like, and I'll talk about. I'm trying not to spoil anything, so
yeah.
But 7, I think, is a good number for it.
Yeah,
like
specifically for an Illumination
production. Yes, I mean for Illumination, that's a high score for me.
Yeah,
because honestly, most of the stuff they make is complete garbage. But yeah.
Alrighty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. You guys have our scores. You have our thoughts. I do suggest seeing this movie in the theaters. This is a fun one to take your younger children to, not like super young. There is a few scenes that might scare a little kid a little bit, but you know, like young kids that kind of already understand who Mario is. Maybe they played the games a little bit before. I think they'll have a lot of fun. They'll have a blast. You'll have a blast.
This is definitely a family movie.
Yeah. So I would say it's worth it, you know, to take your family this weekend, go check it out. Have some fun on Easter Sunday, you know, or actually it'll be Easter Sundays in the past. But I think you guys will have fun with this movie. But don't expect to have your socks knocked off.
Yeah.
By it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's dive into some spoilers and talk about the fun stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your official
spoiler alert.
All right. So, what I will say right off the bat is I think I would have a pretty different opinion of this movie if I didn't experience it in 40X and it being my first 40X experience. I think my opinion would be a little bit lower than what I have right now. I think that...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same as when I was like talking about The Northman with you, where I watched it in VR, and it kind of like having a different like outside experience while you're watching a movie is definitely a big factor on.
Yeah, so I if you guys don't mind, I kind of want to talk about my 40X experience a little bit real quick.
Do that.
Because it was incredible. If you guys have, the viewers, if you guys have access to a 40X theater near you, I highly recommend checking it out. It's legitimately a 2-hour long or however long the movie is carnival ride. It's like there's more movement and like effects and more of a ride feeling in that movie than there was in like half of the rides in Disney.
Right. Like even the motion rides where it's like screen based at Disneyland, this actually has way more effects than that.
Yeah, it's better.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, and it's $25 or whatever it is.
You guys are really hyping it up. I'm super excited.
Dude,
like I'm not gonna lie, it's really surprising how fun it is.
So Taylor has been hyping it up for me for a long time, right? And I have been looking for a movie to go to, and Super Mario just sounded like a fun one, and it was, man. Like it was everything that Taylor said it was, everything that we've been saying it was, and like more. Like I didn't expect the chairs to move as much as they did.
You're gonna have fun, Connor.
It's legitimately a carnival ride, bro. Like it's not even it's like I would actually separate it from a movie going experience. It's not even really a movie going experience anymore. It's like an entirely different thing. Like it's not.
Yeah.
You're not in a theater watching a movie. You're like slowly being immersed into the story, and
it's honestly trying to describe it is almost like trying to describe VR.
Yeah,
you know, like when you talk about VR, it's hard to like truly grasp, but when you experience it, you're like, yep, I totally get it.
Yeah, I would.
It's just like that, but for 40X.
It's pretty insane, and this is also the first time that I've seen a 3D movie. Because I didn't even know 40X movies are 3D.
Wow. Not all of them.
But, not all of them?
Yeah, so like D&D was not 3D. It was just 40X. So they can be both or just one.
Oh, okay. So, but this is also the first time I saw a 3D movie with like the new technology. Because I haven't seen a 3D movie in probably a decade.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since you had to put on
the blue
white and blue glasses.
I was the same way too before
because it hurt my head. Like
it used to be trash, but now it's so much better.
The you still have to wear glasses, but it's like it
just feels like normal glasses.
Yeah, it feels like you're wearing
it doesn't distort the image or anything. Like it just looks like the regular picture, but instead of like the gimmicky thing where it like comes at you, it just adds depth to the picture. So like when you see an object on screen, you almost feel like you can reach out, like you can gauge the distance, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty insane. Yeah. So I'm super stoked now. I look forward to
you're gonna have fun.
My first experience coming at you guys.
Yeah, it was
hopefully that's in 3D as well. That might be pretty interesting for Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I think
I hope so. That'd be fucking amazing.
I do think there are movies that 40X would not be good for. Like, I think there are movies that are meant to be experienced in a traditional movie-going experience. But fun movies like Dungeons and Dragons or Super Mario or probably a lot of like Marvel movies,
Spider-Man,
stuff like that. Spider-Man probably is going to be incredible,
super cool
in 40X. Yeah. So, I think I'm going to be going a little more often, and it's pretty cool. I will say a disclaimer: awesome. if you are somebody that gets like motion sickness and can't handle like motion blur and stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend it. It is like so much movement to the point that if you can't handle all,
I mean the difficult thing too is every movie is a completely different experience. So like I couldn't predict how a movie is going to be until I experience it.
Yeah,
because some aren't as crazy. And then, like this one, it is because it's got a lot of action and stuff.
Yeah. Man, now I'm kind of bummed out. I don't get to experience that shit with you guys right now.
Yeah,
damn.
I mean, you will. So
feel
you will.
Feel like I sat in a shitty seat and fucking
for this particular movie. Yeah, it probably made a significant difference on my perception of the movie, right? Because
it sounds like a way better experience than what I got.
Instead of sitting there and trying to like break down the movie and, be the somewhat critic that I've kind of grown to become of movies, I was more just having fun on a carnival ride and the whole time
it just puts you in a good mood.
Yeah. Like, you can't be like mad at a movie for having continuity issues or that not making sense if you're bumbling around in a seat taking turns on Rainbow Road with Mario as he drifts around corners. Like, you can't do that. Like, it's pretty. Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. It sounds super cool.
If you guys have a 40X theater near you, go check it out. It's 100% worth it. Even if you go do it once, pay the $25. I know it sounds like a lot compared to a normal $12 movie ticket or whatever it is, but it's 100% worth it every once in a while. And if you're like us, where we don't really have like carnivals or amusement parks near us, like we literally have to get on a plane.
It's actually one of the best things you could do.
Yeah, like for real. Like I would rather go to a 40X movie than go to like Punahou Carnival.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
they should honestly make an entire theater.
They should.
40X on Hawaii because there's nothing else.
I was telling Taylor on the way in, I'm like, I'm surprised that we don't have more of these because the theater that we go to out on the west side out here is super popular. Like it's always busy.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
I'm
fancy.
surprised
over
they
there.
don't have one. And I think they should, because I think it would. I'd
Yeah,
go.
I think
a lot
it's just
more.
a money thing, and like
Yeah, I can imagine it's super expensive to make.
like sure they can make like a good money, but I don't know if it's grows as much of a crowd as just a standard seating
Sure.
movie, That's probably why, which it's Hawaii, so
Let's dive into the movie though. We've talked about 40X enough. Let's dive into the real reason why we're here, and that's for the Super Mario Bros. Being brought to life, essentially, and brought to the big screen for us for the first time, right? And it was something that we were super excited about. We did multiple trailer reviews of both me, Taylor, and I know we talked to you off camera too, Connor, about it. And
Yeah.
we're super, super, super excited about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like my nostalgic itch was scratched, but I don't feel like I was like knocked out of my socks. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, oh my God, that was amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like there's so many. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just feel like there are so many little things in there that I laughed at or I had a lot of fun with, callbacks to things,
Yeah.
cool things to see. And but then that was kind of like the extent of the wow factor.
Yeah. It was definitely like I laughed the most. I think Haley and I laughed the most definitely like in the beginning of the movie when they're like with the dog, and I thought that was just fucking hilarious.
Oh my God. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
About Doug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't that dog
definitely-
look
it
like
does
Doug
look
from
like Doug.
Up?
It does look
Yeah.
like Doug, yeah. From
Yeah.
Up,
He was very menacing. Dude.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
was a
he
little
was
too
super-
menacing, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I
It was a
thought
little like,
great,
oh,
though.
jeez.
It was so
No,
funny.
it was.
that
It was
he
funny,
just
but
like,
it was like, damn, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
yeah. I
Kind of
didn't-
set the tone.
Yeah. I didn't. It was something. It's definitely like. It was like oh shit, a little darker than what.
Yeah.
The actual Mario is like, and some of the other scenes too with the like Luigi's Haunted Mansion callback and shit. That was like, oh damn. Like what you said, I was like, I would not bring a little. Like,
Right, like a little
4-year-old
kid to that. Yeah.
yeah, like that would
They
be
might
a little
get
too
a
much.
little
I think.
scared.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to say, so the one thing that really, there's two things, but the biggest thing that really bothered me was Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I did not enjoy that. I was like, it's just Seth Rogen being Seth Rogen. Like I feel like Chris Pratt actually put more of an effort into becoming Mario than Seth Rogen did being Donkey Kong.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. I think I could see it, but I feel like I actually feel the exact opposite.
Well,
I feel like or maybe not the exact opposite. I just feel like when I envision Donkey Kong and who he is as like a person and like his voice and like just how he acts and stuff, like Seth Rogen matches up to me. You know what I mean? I definitely.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
So, do you mean Seth Rogen as his voice, or how he was like
acting and mannerisms and stuff,
or
how the character was written, or the
I guess it's a
casting?
little bit of both. Like it's just Seth Rogen, and he's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like every time he laughs, I'm like, okay, that's obviously not Donkey Kong. He's just fucking Seth Rogen, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's
like,
why I was just asking, because like to me, honestly, Seth Rogen is actually like one of two people specifically that did not sound like themselves until he laughed.
Yeah.
Then you know it's Seth Rogen. But other than that, I thought they actually did a really good job of making him not sound like his usual self, which is kind of hard.
I don't know. It just sounded the same. Like it just sounded like every time he talked, I was just brought out back to like, I don't know, like super bad. And like it was just it was weird. And
okay,
he was the only one. Like I actually liked, like I didn't have a problem with Chris Pratt being Mario.
I didn't have any. I didn't have a problem with him at all. Actually,
like I thought I wouldn't enjoy it, from the trailer, but it was actually fine, and I didn't have a problem with it. I thought Charlie Day was great as Luigi.
Yeah. You know who's like the most surprising and changed their voice the most was
Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, Keegan-Michael
Yeah,
Key.
he did
Yeah,
a
Keegan-Michael
really
Key.
good
If
job.
you didn't know that was him, there's no way you would be able to guess that was Keegan-Michael Key.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
he
he
really
did a
like
really, really good
that is
job.
exactly how I would think. Like that's exactly how.
That's what you're
like,
expecting
Toad-
from somebody.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that's how Toad talks. I was like, that is amazing that he's able to actually do that. Where he's just like, "Hey, everybody!" You know what I mean? Like it's fucking like it was crazy, and I was like, "Oh shit!" He did a like amazing job changing his vocal range for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. I like that. That's juicy, man. So
Yeah.
that's who you were talking about that you would have liked to have had recast and not
Yeah.
had him.
Yeah, it just
Okay.
doesn't fit for me. I don't know. That was the recasting that I wish maybe it was somebody different. Like I could have seen like I don't know. This might sound weird, but like, and he's not with us anymore. Rest in peace. But I would have loved to see like Lance Reddick as Donkey Kong. That would have been amazing.
Lance Reddick?
Weird, bro.
Yeah, dude. I just
Interesting.
feel like Donkey Kong needs a little more like a I don't know, maybe not as much of a serious tone, but like just a deeper inflection. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well, that's why, like, dude, Seth Rogen he's a really deep voice,
Yeah.
but they like his voice in this movie is
They
way
lightened
higher.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was, but I just expected him to be a little like it wasn't the way he talked and how high pitched it was and everything. I was just like, I don't know about that.
I think the reason why I didn't really have a big problem with it is because they, at the particular point where DK was in his life, I mean, he wasn't king yet, right? His dad was still alive, and he's that like young adult that hasn't really figured his life out, doesn't really know what he's doing, kind of an idiot, just kind of doing stuff. And that, like, no offense to Seth Rogen, because I don't mean it offensively, but because of the movies that he's made and the things that I associate with him, that's kind of like who I associate, or that's kind of like the persona that I associate Seth Rogen with.
Right.
And that's why I think that's why it worked for me when it was him. Because to be honest, I forgot that Seth Rogen played him. I remember Charlie Day. I remember Jack Black, because even Bowser doesn't really sound like Jack Black that often.
Yeah.
And I remembered all those people were voicing them, but I forgot it was Seth Rogen. And then when I heard the laugh, I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot that's
Yeah, as
Seth
soon as you hear
Rogen."
the laugh, you know it's him.
And it didn't bother me. It actually made me, like, when he laughed, I was like, "Oh my god, that's funny." So, but I get it. I mean, I don't think you're. I'm not trying to say you're wrong.
It wasn't
or anything.
Yeah,
but
it was just a personal preference. I just didn't enjoy that
okay.
out of the casting. I thought everybody else did a really good job, and I thought they're all pretty actually well cast. And
Yeah,
I wouldn't have I thought Jack Black as Bowser was amazing,
dude.
and
So good.
Jack Black as Bowser
yeah,
is like the best casting we've gotten in a really long time.
Yeah,
Especially with the way
let's,
they wrote the character.
yeah.
Let's just
Especially
be
with his
totally honest here, right?
But
Jack Black as Bowser is the best thing about this movie.
Oh, 1,000%.
Oh, yeah. for sure.
1,000%. In fact, you know what? I'll go as far to say that I like half of the time in the movie, I was thinking to myself, like, yo, why fuck Mario? Let Bowser get Peach, bro. Like,
come on,
come
man.
on, man. Bowser's
It's his time.
he's, like I'm sure Bowser did a lot of bad things in his before, and like we didn't see it yet, you know. But like in the movie, he didn't really do anything, you know. All he did was like burn down a little castle and steal a star, and all he was trying to do was profess his love to this princess.
Yeah.
And then his-
last thing,
his
or not last
ballads?
thing, but thank you, Illumination, for letting
Oh my god,
Jack Black be Jack Black. And we
Yeah.
basically get some Tenacious D
bro!
in this movie.
His love ballads were amazing.
So
Yeah, they
amazing.
were. His rock voice fits Bowser so well. Like the fact
Oh,
that
yeah.
the entire time he was voicing Bowser, he had his rock voice on.
Yep.
It was just so fucking awesome.
And then when we
It's
get
like,
the,
yeah,
the
you know,
little
it's like
scoop
fucking
between
great.
the inside of his fortress thing, and they're all just rocking out.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
that was
that
so
was awesome.
Me
good.
and Taylor both looked at each other. We're like, yeah.
yeah, dude. Yeah, that
Brought me
shit was
back
awesome.
to like School of Rock days. Like Tenacious D. Like, it was awesome. Jack Black as Bowser was crucial to making this movie what it was, and
Yeah,
it shaped.
Don't change that for the sequel, please.
Oh no!
Yeah,
No.
please.
It
Right.
has to be Jack Black.
Literally, like, I'm not even gonna lie. If it if it didn't have him singing Peaches, the song that he wrote for this, and that little like bit that we see with all his Koopas and stuff, I probably would have dropped the score on this movie. But I love him so much, and they did that so well in this movie that I was like, okay.
I probably would agree with that. I mean, those songs, those songs were moments where I was like curled up in my chair laughing because it's just so funny and it's so good.
out of left field.
It is,
but it's so good. Yeah. And it gave the story depth because it was no longer just bad versus evil, gotta stop bad, which is what a lot of Mario is, right? It's very simplistic. Oh, gotta save the princess from this bad turtle, right? But like it gave depth to the story and it changed like our perspective of Bowser.
Yeah.
And like like I said, there's points where I was like rooting for him. I was like, oh man, everybody deserves to be loved. Like maybe maybe
honestly,
you should
I
get
wish
Peach.
that they had put more of that, like more of his music in there, or just more of like that type of
it'd be so good
music, like melodies in the movie.
And
it was really cool.
It was almost like I was almost kind of when he finally made it to the Mushroom Kingdom, and he's like, "Peach, will you marry me?" And she's like, "What? What are you crazy?" I was almost like, I mean, it's not that crazy of an idea. Like, you're not. It's not like you like pillaged and burned your world first and then asked you to marry him. Like, he's asking nicely. Like,
and you live with a bunch of fucking weird mushroom people. Like, what the fucking...
Who's the crazy one?
A little weird.
I
felt bad for him.
Yeah, it was really cool it was really cool to see him like really just kind of make the character his own. I guess, you know, like give Bowser
I loved
like
it.
some real personality and stuff.
Wouldn't it be so cool if we got like a spin-off movie of just a Bowser journey to love?
What's the funny part is seeing as this is Illumination, it's almost guaranteed to happen because that's all they do is milk everything.
I'm for it, to be honest. If they do that, I'll go watch it.
Yeah, I will actually watch that.
It would be great if they did like a Bowser trying to find love thing where he just sings his way to love. It would be great. It would be awesome. Yeah. It would be such a funny movie.
It would be super funny. I really did enjoy
Illumination, if you want to make that movie, let me know. I'll write a script. By write a script, I'll make my dad write a script and then I'll sell it to you. What were some issues that you had, Taylor, with the movie?
I don't know. There was like random times it just felt like almost like I don't want to say not genuine because I know this is kind of like it's not supposed to be like 100%, Mario, because that would honestly probably be real boring.
Yeah.
And it's an Illumination, so they have a particular way of trying to do things with their movies. And I don't know, sometimes it just felt like a little off. Not enough to like completely take me out of the movie or anything.
Okay.
A lot of the beginning to me felt kind of weird. I know they kind of just had to do it, and it was a way for them to set up like the whole family thing.
Right.
Which, we get the nice moment at the end with Mario and Luigi. I don't really care for the rest of his family and stuff. I don't really care for the whole Brooklyn thing too, and the whole like plumbing business and stuff. Like I get it, but it's like it's kind of weird. I just want to get to like the actual
Super Mario World
stuff.
I have to agree. Even though the dog thing was super funny, it felt really out of place to have like him just be like in real world, like a regular guy.
I think they could have done something like that, but just like gotten rid of a lot of the fluff and kind of just gotten straight to the point.
Yeah, they kind of tried to like explain too much of it and add too much, or like I don't know, like some
this is the one like movie franchise I don't think you need to go into like the lore of where Mario came from.
Right, because that's not a whole lot. Like I know that he is based off of a plumber from Brooklyn, right? But like I don't care.
It's also not the character that we like. That's not the aspects of the character that we love or that we really focus on. We focus on the other stuff.
Yeah. But as far as the actual world and stuff, was great. It was fun. I loved all the Like,
Are you talking about when they're running to the building because their car didn't work? Is that what you're talking about?
well, I just mean anytime they're like in like the world, the Mushroom Kingdom and all that kind of stuff. I thought once it was there, it was like a good time and it was flowing and everything was good. I love all the references and like different Easter eggs and stuff that you can pick out, and all the nostalgia stuff. Like, it's great. I love all the musical cues and stuff. I did actually like the music choices in this movie.
What were the music choices that you were talking about, Connor?
So I loved all of the like plays they did on the like Mario music. Like, I loved the Mario music.
It was just like the regular music.
But I love rock, but when they put in like Guns N' Roses and stuff into this movie, it really did not, like, it felt so out of place.
Interesting.
Because I was like, why don't you use more of the like amazing Mario music that you've already been using? Because they have some like awesome Mario tracks in here, and I did not enjoy. It was like really out of place. Like when they're just in the Mushroom Kingdom, or not in the Mushroom Kingdom, but like when they're in the like. I don't know.
You're talking about when they first get to Kong World and they start riding on the cart with
but there's other there's other like
vehicles.
There's other times that, that they use the music where, like,
for sure. I think there's like three main times.
It just seems so out of like it was so randomly put in there. It didn't fit with the rest of the like soundtrack. Like the rest of the soundtrack is very like Mario soundtrack, but that just really didn't fit with it,
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I enjoyed the music, but I can see that where it doesn't like. I feel like it doesn't really match it that well.
Yeah. Like even like Bowser's rock ballads still fit in the soundtrack itself because he's still doing like the piano riffs of Mario music. You know what I mean? Like it's still him doing like the Bowser theme at in the fucking lava castle.
I do
and, like all
say,
that shit.
I wonder if
this problem, I can almost guarantee, is just an Illumination problem because this is what they do. Like as far as
they put a lot of like licensed music.
To draw people in.
Right.
I think I
love the music, but like sometimes it can be like that where it just feels out of place, but they're just doing it because they're trying to capitalize on things that people,
the association that people have with that music.
Right.
I think part of it for me might have been that I was sitting in a roller coaster ride, and so when Guns N' Roses came on and we were about to drive in a cart, like
we could feel like the revs of the
you can feel like you can feel. So it's just kind of like I associate rock and metal with. I mean, I was like getting ready to pump up and go, So I think
I could see that, though.
But I
sitting in a regular theater, I was just like,
no. I think
what the
it's.
fuck is this?
I think that might have been. That's one of the differences between 40X and a regular theater. That the music. I didn't think about that initially. That the 40X combined with the musical choices could create a different atmosphere.
Yeah, because I would say,
Interesting.
like I would say if you go watch it in a regular theater, like you can tell how out of place it is because of how good the tweaked Mario soundtracks are, and then like it just kind of comes out of left field, and you're like, that just doesn't fit because just like 2 minutes ago we were like, it's like.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you're like, and it's like Welcome to the Jungle or whatever the fuck, and it's like, all right, I don't know, it just felt out of place.
It wasn't that song, but
it wasn't that song, but what I'm saying,
that song definitely would be out of place.
Okay, no, I can definitely understand what you're saying.
I can understand that.
I honestly, it would have been more in place if they had played Welcome to the Jungle while they're in the fucking jungle, but like.
I think this is one of those things that, like what I was talking about, that I think my score, my perception of the movie would have been different if I wasn't in 40X. I think I totally would have agreed with you if it hadn't been for the fact that I felt like I was in a go-kart, like with them as they were in the go-kart, and it didn't bother me.
I mean, that's what I say. Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I think all the rest of the soundtrack was amazing. I mean, I loved like the the twists and spins they put on the original.
Yeah, I mean,
music
because
and
I will
everything.
say this, I kind of wanted a little bit more of the Mario soundtrack
Yeah,
because it was there, but it never lasts as long as I wanted to.
yeah, and they did. I mean, I would agree because they did a really good job on it, and it sounded really good. And
Yeah, no, they did. It was a really good mix of it.
yeah, but it was definitely really short when it came in.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's definitely something they could improve on for the next one.
Did I don't know how to preface this because I feel like this is another negative that I'm gonna have just because I'm thinking about it. But
Just say it.
did Luigi being the damsel in distress captured the whole time bother you guys? Because I feel like it was kind of a waste to have his character just be like doing nothing the whole time and being captured.
Yes and a no.
So yes, in the fact that it did make it feel a little weird to me at the end once they got the star and powered up.
Yeah,
Like the way that Luigi was acting and stuff, I was just like, it doesn't really match your character that they portrayed the rest of the movie.
right. He had like none of the experience,
no emotion,
training or anything. Like he didn't experience any of the world outside of prison bars. So like
right. So and he never fought either. It was always Mario that, like growing up, it was always Mario that protected them. He never, according to the way that they portrayed him in this movie.
Yeah, I'm not saying it in like I had a problem with like he was the one captured instead of Peach, but like I don't think anybody really needed to be captured. Like any of the main character, like I don't think Peach needed to be captured or Luigi. Like they could have had both of those characters, like Luigi's like with his brother the whole time, and them kind of growing together at the same time because it was just as much of a threat to have Bowser just doing what he was already doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the only reason why they did that is to give Mario some reason to stay within the world instead of trying to get back. Right? Because if you think if he had never been captured by Bowser and if he had never had to track him down and try to get his brother back, and they had just made it over to that side and they were both fine, their focus would have been to get home instead of try to fight Bowser.
Yeah. I mean,
it would have been a different story. I'm not saying that it would have been worse.
Know. I mean, they could have just bumped into Peach and she'd have been like, "Help me, this guy's gonna..."
Right.
And then they would have been like, "Okay," or whatever. I don't know, but it's like
sure.
I mean, spin the story in a different. Like, it didn't need to happen. You know what I mean? I felt like kind of like a.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, man, I wish that he was. I kind of wish he was in with
more
them, of them, and like.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest reason they did that is because it's just the Mario trope.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But they changed it probably to fit the social climate of today to not have Peach be the damsel in distress and we have Luigi instead. I'm not a huge fan of it in multiple ways. One, yeah, you're right. It does kind of like weaken Luigi's character. But at the same time, that's kind of Luigi's thing is to get shit on. So I'm low-key okay with it at the same time because Mario is just cooler, even though I love Luigi's Mansion. And then Peach, I actually did feel kind of weird how her character is portrayed.
Yeah.
Mostly because her like power level is pretty high in the sense of Mario. And that's not a thing. Peach is garbage in any Mario game.
Yeah.
So
that's one of my negatives that I had was I didn't like Peach very much. Like I didn't really care for her. I not a huge fan of Anya Taylor-Joy, but I don't even think it was her. I don't think it was her voice or anything. I think a lot of the dialogue between Peach and Mario, like whenever Mario talked to other people, it didn't feel forced or awkward or weird, but there's definitely some points where him and Peach were talking and it felt like I was watching like a bad sitcom, and it was like they were trying to be funny or they were trying to like connect, and it just
I
don't
just
know,
didn't
wasn't
like
happening
the
for
way
me.
that like she came off talking to
Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah.
Like, she was just
like
kind
the
of
whole training scene where she's like they're
Yeah.
sitting next to each other. Yeah. And she's like, "Yeah, I got it in the first try." I was like,
Yeah, she's kind of a
What the
like,
fuck?
no, you
Like-
didn't. Like, come on,
Like-
let's be honest.
It's
you're
like-
Peach. Get out of here.
Yeah,
"Yeah,
yeah.
That
I don't-
There's
I
a
don't like
reason
that.
you're a princess. Right?
yeah."
Yeah.
That was like, I was like, okay, so she's basically like,
And I'm not.
You know.
I'm not trying to say like princesses can't be badass and whatnot, but like,
Oh, I'll take Daisy over Peach all day.
yeah. But I don't know.
she didn't earn it. She didn't earn it. Is like there wasn't any like character development for her really. It was just
Yeah, that we saw.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
I know they kind of try to explain like how she stumbled upon the
Yeah.
world and stuff, and she grew up with
Yeah.
toads and stuff. But like, that's not what's portrayed in the games. So
Yeah.
you trying to convince me that that's what happened is kind of hard. Like it's been,
Yeah.
like it's
It's
however
been
many years.
decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I also
it's
think
going to
it's-
take a little bit more to try to convince me that Peach is this new character that's like self-developed and like super
A super
trained and all
badass.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying is like, I think that's the biggest problem that I have is that it's just kind of not like it's not really like there's no character development really for her character specifically through the whole movie. She's
Because
just,
Mario is
she's
a
just a
bumbling
badass.
idiot that
Yeah.
learns his ways.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
we're just supposed to believe that she's this super cool, like whatever badass
Like
character.
guardian
Like,
princess.
just don't.
yeah, she's
I
like
don't
the
believe it.
ultimate badass, and she has a set attitude and a set character, and that's how she is for the entire movie up to the end.
Yeah,
And,
she
like,
never
it doesn't
wavers either. There's never
Yeah.
there's never any part of what makes characters interesting and likable or relatable is diversity of their emotions and whatnot, right? And
Yeah.
if somebody always has the same one, it makes it hard to relate to that person on a basic level. And
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason why I didn't like her too. So
Yeah.
yeah, she was definitely lower end, and then she somehow single-handedly defeated Bowser at the end. Like just like, oh, I'm gonna go down and get ice powers. Be right back.
Her outfits look good though.
Oh,
Like, it
yeah,
was cool.
that
Some
was cool.
transformations and stuff and powers. Like
Yeah.
everything looked cool.
In fact, pretty much all of like the outfits, if we want to call it, a costume design because it's animated,
Yeah,
but
obviously super
Yeah.
good.
everything
All the
looked
cards
great.
and everything.
Yeah, the animation in this
Yeah.
movie was very, very well done.
I do want to say
A
I feel like there was
really
a
good
missed
job.
opportunity. I know this is Super Mario, but I kind of wanted one of the either the Kongs or the Koopas. They're like witness me, and then have the
He did yell it out in the theater
Yeah.
when they were going down Rainbow Road, and it was
Yeah.
the chase. He's like, "Witness
come
me!"
You can't not have that kind of set in a movie and
Yeah.
not do that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
But it was it was a fun movie, dude.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, I would agree. It is a fun movie, and I did have a lot of fun with like the callbacks and like I loved how the platforming. It was just like how it is in the
Mhm.
game, where they're
Yeah, it
just
was
fucking
very
floating
cool,
like
POV
midair.
changes and stuff.
Yeah.
So one thing I'll give credit where credit is due, and I actually asked for this in one of our trailer reactions. I asked, and apparently Illumination saw our video and changed some things. I don't know really for sure, but I had said in one of our trailer reactions that I didn't want the integration of classic Mario games to feel gimmicky in this.
Mhm.
Like I didn't want them to like openly say, "Oh, this is Super Smash Bros. Oh, this is Mario Kart. Oh, this is that." This is regular Super Mario. Like everything, the call or the references to the games and the games themselves were integrated into the story of the movie, and
Yeah.
it wasn't out of place. Like I was kind of, I don't know, in my head I was kind of trying to figure out like, well, how are you going to incorporate Mario Kart into this story, right? But they figured out a way to make it so that it didn't feel like it was out of place and like they were just throwing it in there for nostalgia's sake. So I'll give credit to them for that because I
Yeah.
did.
The only one I do have problems with is the Smash Brothers. It actually was kind of disappointing to me how much they didn't do a whole lot with that in this movie. 'Cause
yeah, it
the
was a
only
little
real thing you
underwhelming.
get is like the one shot of him, and he's like fighting Donkey Kong, and that's about it. I especially at the end of the movie when they get the star. Like, I felt like that was the most opportune time to actually see Mario and Luigi do their moves from Smash. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of disappointed. It was still fun.
No,
but
I would agree with you. I was gonna say, like, on that same coin, flip side,
Super Mario Smash Bros. Was like one of my first characters that I had to like force myself to like really learn for Smash, like competitively.
Yeah.
And I haven't played in so long, so I'm probably horrible now, but he was definitely the easiest one for me, which he kind of is like the recommended starter character to really learn for competitive. But because of that, I just really wanted to see like some of his actual moves and stuff. And Luigi would have been nice too.
Yeah.
Even though I actually hate him in Smash because he's just irritating because people spam some of his moves all the time. But yeah, just a little thing.
No, I hear you, bro. I would have liked to see more Smash Bros. Especially since that's the game I played the most. And I played a lot of Mario Kart and other stuff, but I played a ton of Super Smash Bros. On Nintendo 64, bro. I played a ton of Smash Bros. So I would have really liked to have seen more Smash Bros. Like within the story, but I get it. They had their story. So
it'll probably be in the sequel.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's Illumination, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna get milked.
There will probably be a spinoff where they're all in an arena and they all have to fight each other.
Did you watch the 2 scenes at the
post credits?
I did. I actually didn't.
Really?
No, I didn't even know there was.
Post-credit
I didn't know there was a post-credit.
Well, one of them doesn't really have anything to do with a story or anything. It's just another of
more amazing.
It's a third Bowser ballad.
Oh,
and it's amazing.
I didn't even know. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a mid-credit scene.
Mid-credit one.
It's a mid-credit scene, and it's him in a little cage inside the castle of the.
So after the fact,
he's still small, but they gave him a little tiny piano. And he's singing a ballad, and then one of the guards comes in and is like, "Hey, shut up! It's lights out!" And then like knocks the cage so that he stops singing. It's hilarious. It's a hilarious scene. The final scene is, you can explain.
Basically, it's just like this wide shot that like slowly zooms in. And it's Yoshi, his egg.
It's his egg.
Starts cracking at you, and then you hear the little thing. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, then it's probably gonna be like.
So Mario and Yoshi
sequel or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Well, that'll be cool. I mean, I'm down for it. Yoshi's Island.
Yeah. It was fun.
Whatever they want to do, I'll probably just watch it because this movie was pretty fun. So
yeah, I think this movie, for those of you guys that are watching and wondering whether or not you should see it, it's fun. Like if you're just looking for a fun time at the theaters, just go watch it. You'll have fun.
Take a load off, relax.
Yeah. Take a couple hours to just kind of decompress, laugh. If you're someone of our age or older or whatever and have a connection to the games from throughout the decades, there's plenty enough nostalgia, plenty enough little Easter eggs and stuff to kind of tickle that portion of your brain. So go check it out. It's a fun one.
I will say. This definitely is an Illumination film, and I can see it every single where on this movie. It's just the fact that I like Mario so much that I can like...
It overshadows it.
A little bit. I mean, it's there, and it bothers me. So, like, it definitely...
Taylor
like,
will never let this go.
The sequels, I'm almost certain is going to, like, really start pushing it for me. But for the first one, it was fun.
I'll give it a pass. It was a fun movie, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Go check it out. Anything else you guys want to talk about from this movie?
No.
No, I think that's it for me. Actually, you know what's really weird was the previews for this movie was not for kids, dude. I was like really surprised. They had the Evil Dead Rise trailer.
Really? You have that?
Yeah, dude. I was
all of our trailers were kids.
Yeah, we had kids movies though.
Yeah, it was fucking weird as hell, dude. I just thought that was so out of place because there was a lot of kids.
The other thing I was sad about is the trailers for some reason for this movie were not.
Taylor was telling me that usually the the trailers are 4DX too
as well. Yeah.
And then when we got in there, it wasn't. So.
That's almost that's like your demo before the movie.
Yeah. Well, that kind of. Well, maybe the next one.
Yeah, I definitely.
Because D&D was.
I'm trying to think of, and it like.
I mean, there was that short little like 40X trailer. With the Guardians, but.
I think Guardians might be a good movie to go see in 40X, but and as much as it pains me to say it, based off of the experience I had, I do think that Fast X is going to be a good 40X.
Oh hell
movie.
Yeah, dude! Hell yeah!
You can have fun with that movie.
Me and you, Ocean, let's go!
Dude, brother.
I think it would be fun. Like
no,
not that
I don't care what anybody says. I love the Fast and Furious movies. I'm gonna keep watching them forever.
Right now, cut it. Cut it right now.
I just like with the way the theaters and stuff it is. I think it would be so fun. Just with the way just thinking about being in the car.
Don't listen to these guys right now. Do not watch Fast X. Stop watching those movies, please. Stop.
Never stop watching those movies.
Just like Illumination movies, stop watching those too.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Except for this one movie. Watch it one time and then never again.
What's the guy's name? Fucking Vin Diesel. Keep making these movies, please. Don't stop.
He's going to. Can't stop.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for joining us on this one. Like I said, there's going to be lots of more content coming out this weekend. There should be a video every day. So check back on the channel. Check out the rest of the stuff that we watched and reviewed.
Some other good movies.
Yeah, some good stuff came out, and we're pretty excited about a lot of it. So check back. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Connor, thank you for joining us as always. Always a pleasure to have you on the channel, buddy.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Please like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend. Check out our social media links as well as the other shows here on Any Kind Media. We'll catch you guys,
Bye, guys.
in the next one.
Let's go.